Thank you. Bisiafo. Say dear, yenam top connect so emanisika de bagana if we asia fanani na yenchia kapre. Ane aye free. Top connect amasika money ayem rekra. Ye uhia ne se wo download it with Top Connect app no e Play Store. Diama wo Android phone. And also we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple cra. Top Connect wa manda radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Woman wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye ntem na emre. Ne mawa hoto so say dear sika manu di foforo kra any Top Connect. So we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befuntin tefidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mane wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre Top Connect yensu ye dienie
President Nanado ye frame Matheson sunyane na mewo makotena awonu Holland akọ sam infifure sika kakra mi nyaaye no me dia ba mia me maimu Ghana dia ba to registered bank JN bank yi President Nanado oba TV so be kachire Ghana for say JN bank anye na dwuma yi ti waje bank ne licenses no wo the customers ni sika be mo 3 years muni Mansa misika sika kakra ka ye no so 550 million media kwa akoto commercial bank na me nim say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save President Nanado enam IMF bosia na wo kwa akoboni nti osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa akoye adwuma nya interest wo so no once the korano onfa mame misika trene no so ose onfa mame just 2024 na sika no interest ketuwa no a menya no obema me mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana mintimi so enko Holland se me koye adwuma minfi akọ animu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me na meyire ne memba ibedidi Mr. President mesero se me ma se me be street carefully ho mia misika makosam infifure enya no mesero se obema mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesero se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka wenyamase ni bi etie Ghana mpem for mesero so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ma me medamase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me banoboko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nati. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me san kano milito bond 2 years aka 1 year this year September 2023 na mi bond no amateur wo adwina wo de ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me brama bre sika medito bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye am robber ene ebe chimiji misika o oman panyi a ya tu abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour nkrofo kachre wanted emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na onye omu betumi ayejuma nkrofo kachre wanted ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre me di sika yedi tua me ka say gratuity me fa hwe me ho so no usi wafa this is 2033 se mi manu na opese omumbe ji sika na me na no mo a menim president woni diemu misrew unuana ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew manu fansa mfaso no ekutu yesika no mesika no mfa mame nanado utrimu yedin papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire say 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no usi untu ameka me nya 60 years here nanado minister mi bisa wo have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please nanado mimpese mbe kasatiao mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusia debi midi yao esreo tise na Mr. Matheson efri sunyani esreo no jai misika mami midi di ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate mi tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo to see, to hear, and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, 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 Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofrodua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, "Anka unya accident or question na uya." Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Mama inji 2 years. Says here the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Says here no. So then someone has said per se. Open single room. Open single room. Says here no put 600. Put 500. Put 700, 800. You're dying. Says here agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here if you're a full beard, your mother am agent for Uchia 9,600. Also Uchia agent 900, 600, 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see me 6 months in 1 year. Say we hear Juma me feara. Uba boa no busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because I'm a whole month I'm a pay. And see back on one by a day. Uma should be yo. Umehwe bibi ye wo man mu ampanifo mo nka ho asem hwe na youth for ne ye bre na ye kunkum ye ni how a direct inti ye be imponti no ubekoma ye kun bobekoma ye kun nti youth no nti ye bre no muhu a dansem e kun ye adai how Ghana ye ble papa adai. And then fear walking in and catch a person. Me patrol me per diamond, but because of agents viewing fees or do coach set them or bet you 80 cities and now say 100 cities. And then done so man dying who could have 600. Oh, nothing room name. Or do 2 years, 600 cities, 2 years. Because of that, into the ultimate mother down or no person or two. Now or do a for a show on 600, 500. That they would turn into a person who 2 years. At the moon come shame my say youth in the year bread. Ye only a better a bone, ye ask me a to a back. I make a very influence in call for a
So basically what you have there are you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers, communication consultants, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go through that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level.
Who has ISD working for him too.
And then you're having all these guys working under the presidency.
Who work under communications directorate. Yeah.
Of the presidency.
Yeah. There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot to communicate. So
and what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can't understand why you have all these guys working and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many? Directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication. And then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors.
At the presidency?
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2
then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you are not joking? Are you sure? What are you? What? He's not joking. What are you saying? No.
Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are picking.
right, so that is the promise that you never have to play with fire, because if you play with fire, you joke with fire, obviously fire is gonna burn you. It is that very simple. Yes, the title of the program, Fire Will Burn You, and that is coming to you from NFM Radio. Mansa Musa, I am ready to roll. I am ready. I'm sitting here on the captain's bridge and I'm driving the ship. So if you are ready, come and join me to sail away. Osibisa says, fire will burn you. I say this program is right on Facebook and on YouTube. So on YouTube, you just have to type on your YouTube, what we thinking. Just type on it, New Face Media, one word, and you taking, go through the process, and you see me. Subscribe YouTube and listen to good program, good show. I say it as it must be said. No unnecessary equalization. See what I mean? On Facebook, it's also very simple indeed. On Facebook, you go to NFM Radio. Online and on Modern Ghana platform. You hear me there too as well. NFM Radio. So tonight, join Mansa Musa to discuss all that rubbish things that are happening or just happened yesterday, 7th of March 2023. That is the date I'm talking about, the date. Why this day and age, the whole state, the arm of the state, the military, people or the organization that are taxed or they are mandated to look after citizens of Ghana, how come that they through the state can decide to rather terrorize people, all in the vein of, all with the excuse that they are looking for some culprits of a murder. Obviously, when the photographs of the dead soldier man, started spreading everywhere, all of us, some of us, or most of us went straight away. Oh, not again. What is all this, These things happen. Criminals are everywhere on this planet. And so when a young soldier, irrespective of what he did or done, unless it is properly investigated and found that, okay, his death came as a result of maybe altercation or maybe self-defense on the part of whoever is accused, anything. You see, that isn't right that, people should be killed here and there. But the aftermath of that incident, what happened, really, the words to describe it, I'm finding it very difficult to find, because this is what we call the primitive pre-colonial, then colonial, neo-colonial, old-time booga way of dealing with civilians or soldiers dealing. You see, I don't want to come and bore you with the military. Why Ghana military behave like they do. You see, I listen to programs like Good Morning Ghana, other programs, and it's all very good, very nice. It's all well to hear, the participants or panelists on such programs trying to say, oh yes, the Ghana army, military, Ghana army, they are professionals, they are respected everywhere, and they don't do such things and that. But, it's all good to say that, but in truth, believe me, the actual upbringing, the what brought about the soldier, the military, into our system. The what we call it, the military, the army in advanced countries, say in UK, whilst their army was constructed or brought about through genuine, love, or let's say the purpose was to actually defend the country and its citizens. The fact is, our army, our military was brought about not to defend the country and its citizens, maybe to defend the country ourselves, but the main is to defend the state, if you understand me. The army, the military in Ghana was, constituted to defend or to protect the state. It wasn't to protect the citizens. It's a fact. It is an ideology, a principle that has to be changed. And some of us have been naive over the years to think that this sort of thinking, this mentality has been changed. The army, I repeat, Ghana army was not constructed or constituted, was not made up to defend and protect the citizens. No. They will tell you to protect and defend Ghana. That's the state. You see? When the white man constituted the army, you see how they carried, then young men, mostly young men from the colonies, to go and fight wars that had nothing to do with them, basically. It was to defend the British Crown, not to defend and protect the Gold Coast people or the indigenous people. No. So that mentality has grown and grown and grown and grown. Look, in the military training, those silly things, when you are young, you don't see it as, awful. But the fact that you can go out and beat up a civilian, come to barracks, and the system, your superiors will, help you to avoid detection or to be identified somehow. That is meant to bring camaraderie and morale and all those sort of things. You see, to the extent that what we've seen, over 100 people being paraded on the streets of Ashama, looking at it from far away, we would say a suburb of Accra. Today, I sat in my chair. I was ready to listen to the president speak the Sonathin State of the Union, no, not the Union, State of the Nation address, SONA. And I had a call that I had to come to construction site to help with the health and safety arrangement there or something, and that, okay. Some of these calls, they come in impromptu. I mean, they come unarranged, but they pay well. So I had to leave my comfort zone to go to downtown London to do a bit of work, paperwork mostly, Then at the construction site, I had this gentleman. He is actually Jamaica, I think either Barbados or Jamaica, I forgot, but he is into Ghana and Ghanaians a lot. So I don't know where the clip he got it from, but the description and the narrative or the voiceover was rather pidginy. I don't know whether it was BBC, Pidgin Africa, something like that. So this gentleman brought the video and said, "Oh, Mansa Musa, have you seen this? What is going on?" And straight away he asked me, are these people some serious criminals or dangerous or armed robbers or terrorists? In the end, the caption was there, so I couldn't hide anything as well. I told him what has happened. And these Jamaicans and, the Caribbeans, they have this typical way of swearing. He swore bomber-clad. Bomber-clad. Even a terrorist won't be treated like this in public. Them terrorists being beaten and tortured like this, there will be uproar. That's what he said. In the end, Mansa Musa had to lie that, my government in Ghana has they've suspended those military personnel or officers who indulge in that thing, and investigation is being carried out and that sort of thing. I lied. Because under normal circumstances, that's what should happen in a proper country. In a proper setup, proper setup. I'm not talking about even the first world. Even in the third world, if your country is a proper country being run by a proper president who don't want shame on his people, on his country, by now, heads are rolling. Look, it doesn't matter that one soldier, unfortunately, was killed. Investigations have to be conducted to bring those perpetrators or perpetrator to book. That one, nobody argues. But to disgrace the country Ghana like this, and my friend from the Caribbean who spoke, I spoke with this morning, it was the view that, look, the New York police, NY police, he said, they are watching. So if New York police get some black people and molest them, whom am I to go and complain? In your country, suspected criminals, you run up over 100 young men and beat them to pulp. I didn't say this didn't happen previously in my day. But as bad as those times were, it is, accepted or considered that the governance in those days was not adequate. It was buga governance. It was that military dictatorship governance where even though the figurehead didn't want these things to happen, the other soldiers or the people in charge took most of the laws into their hands, and the people were terrorized in those days. But to run a country, I used to have a girlfriend, and them days when I was young, I worried the women folk, and this girlfriend would one day sit me down and say, look, you have to tell me if you don't want this, that this mean the relationship, you see. If you don't want this, then please let me know. What I'm saying is, if we don't want this democracy, then we shouldn't be lying to ourselves. So, if as a country, as a people, as Ghanaians, if we don't like or want this democracy, we should just give it up. Because democracy is not easy. Always they will say the democracy is not cheap. Because they want to get the money and chop. So they would always say that. Democracy is not cheap. Equally, democracy is not easy. Things that were done in dictatorship days, one-man party buga days, you can and you shouldn't do the same in a democracy. What happened at, that Ashama? It could happen that among the over 100 people assembled and brutalized, beaten to pulp, among them, it could be very, very, very true that one of them was the culprit who killed the soldier, or maybe 2 or 3 or 10 of them. But this morning, when I was watching a Good Morning Ghana, Metro TV, a co-presenter of Randy Abbey, the young fella, apparently he lives in Ashama, and he says he was very lucky, so he left earlier. He left the scene boarded a transport somewhere to go somewhere. Otherwise, he would have been in it. They could have captured him before they realized that he is not, he's not one of the people they are looking for. He would have been beaten to pulp. Someone who kwasiadia ye sene ye iti ye nyoma wo ye Africa ye Ghana ho. Someone who kwasiade. Now, in as much we can talk on the specifics and about the people who actually took part in this nonsense, this primitive act. In as much as it was individuals, the soldiers on the ground who did this, at the behest of their immediate commanders and others coming from the long chain of command, we can still attribute all these problems, these rubbish incidents, this disgraceful primitive act. We can lay it at the doorstep of the president. Akufo-Addo's government has become a Takashi government. Right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that you remember when Nankan Bruce or some police officer in uniform was mercilessly beaten under the glare recordings of a CCTV. He was mercilessly beaten at the seat of, the government, the presidency. Everybody saw it and it's still available, that video. Goodness sake. Nobody has come out to even say the president was very appalled and that, he actually, have given them verbal and maybe some of them written warnings not to behave like this again and maybe apologize to the senior police officer. Nothing like that was done. I can cite so many incidents. Then you remember the one of them is the Kumasi incident where tax defending or belonging to the NPP party, which happens to be the ruling party. Their tax actually bunched into a courtroom. They invaded a courtroom, took people who were being tried in the courtroom, took them away with force. A criminal act. Nothing happened to those people. Nothing. Some of them have been recruited into the army and the security services so dangerously. We all saw the video of a nominated DC or something, a presidential a president or what do we call it? A person that the president nominated. The people, the grassroots, the thugs said they don't want that person. They didn't only demonstrate or made noise. They actually manhandled that fellow, took him away, kicked him out of the office. Nothing happened to these people. Nothing. So Akufo-Addo's governance has become the governance of thugs. Takashi yambu oyen kunkrofo power and kwasiade. One would ask Ghana Krano, Ghana Krano, Bonnie Ben Pan, Bonnie Ben. Jesus Christ. And him guasi today, 2023. Soldiers will go with their what we call top military vehicles and armored personnel carriers, helicopter choppers, everything, with guns to go and run up over 100 people. After all, if those areas, the suspicion is that those areas resides, criminal characters. Why is it that in this governance and the government saying they've bought this for the police, bought this for the army and this and that, why is the police not making sure, or the government itself, its policy is not up to, cleaning up or making the place livable, making the place, sweeping it, sweeping the criminals away. In UK here, I remember in the 90s, those of you who live in an area called Hackney, especially, because I lived in East London, the first job, one of the first jobs I got was with a demolition company. Demolition company. We go to demolish homes and houses and all that. It came to a point, I think around 97, 98, thereabout. The government policy was the word was gentrify, modernize, gentrify, locally known crime-ridden or crime areas. So they had these tall buildings, tall concrete flats, concrete buildings, which were built in the 60s and 70s, for very poor people, mostly poor English people and poor Caribbean people. That's where they lived. And as time goes on, such areas became, at least regarded as crime zones where everything happened. Indian hemp was smoked publicly and the other drugs traded in. So thievery and sometimes knife crimes here and there. The government actually made it a policy to clean up. But they didn't send the military with, what we call it, with APCs, anti-personnel carriers and guns and military uniforms and beat. No. They didn't run people. If they wanted to go and arrest, it's always the police, and they target it to a specific spot, a specific home, or something like that. The government made it a policy, first and foremost, to strengthen the police to do their work. Then secondly, they saw that the environment itself encouraged wrongdoing, bad things. Those tall blocks, the concrete jungle as we call it, it gave refuge of some sort to that behavior. So the government decided they were going to, demolish, knock all those buildings down and build modern flats, modern buildings with gardens, playgrounds, and all that sort of thing, schools and everything. And they didn't do it only in one area, of London. Various hot spots, crime spots, were modernized. It was a package. The police were strengthened, the courts were strengthened, everything. If you are actually found involved in any crime, you'll be sentenced properly, all. And by and large, people who, Hackney has become a trendy place for people to live. In Ghana, we know that places like Alaju, like Nima, Ashama, other places, sorry, if you were born, I know people who actually were born in those places, so that is their hometown, so sorry, but such places have been known to be crime-ridden or, a place that people, who will indulge in such things, this is where they live. It has been known for a long time. So while I won't blame this government, they are the source of, the problem spot or anything, the fact is, what has the government done or doing to clean up such areas so that you won't just suspect that a soldier goes to die in such an area, then you swoop and sweep and arrest so many young men. I don't know if they were women. They said, for me, I can't even watch that video again. It's so disgraceful, even watching it alone. So you gather all these people, beat them up in broad daylight. Apparently, it had rained, so they let these people swim, in the mud. Africans love beating and molesting, brutalizing their fellow people. I just don't get it. And for that mentality, I know it exists. But what I don't get, it is, the love that so easily to humiliate a fellow person, a fellow man in public. Then, anyway, let me take a quick break. We'll come and continue. We'll surely come and continue.
For Sasadia, Yenam Top Connect so Manisika de Bagana if we are Fananina, Yenchia Capre. Anne, I free. Top Connect a Masika money, I am Rekra. You hear any sober download with Top Connect app no our Play Store. Diama or Android phone. And as we use iPhone so or Apple Store not download the Top Connect. I simple cra. Top Connect to a member radio Numsu Europe, North America and Asia. Woman will dofu sika for Top Connect so I tem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befunti ntafidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mane wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre Top Connect yensu ye dienie
Oyezu oyeza Munua NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland chapter da mabri so michia na menyu ba bezian abato ho nkomo dem awore enyim na oka nkakra na yakoto aba yeze yanim penyufo wo party do wo da mi chapter ya meji ho nkomo na menyu ba bezi chairman akwa no ho nkomo da mabri chairman akwa campaignfo a wo ejina there to wando abana wombe chairman nemu chairman akwade ojina ho prekope enti mesraw de to waba na eza ma chairman akwa na wabe chairman bo United Kingdom and Ireland chapter usane de okitan hihye bebre a yame na dom na so be chairman a opede ozuboa awa eye member bo United Kingdom na Ireland na NDC party ni na da na dom hihye no mu binyi the establishment of a welfare program. Dem welfare program no mu mfaso benyi abrebiara NDC nyi ehwehwem bo wo sekasama fem bibi kakre bi a ezebototo nzama wa abra ahokyira aba no dem welfare program e bohwe na wonsa ka bibi kakra ofi £50 zuko £400 na enyesika etum ebotua eyi ye chairman akwana adwe na opede odzeboa NDC ibiso nyi de NDC member biara obenya any immigration issue ana mbrem nsemi biara wo bibia otena wo United Kingdom ana Ireland chairman akwa establish mpenyumfo a wobetena ho na wahwe na advice biara oyembra kono do na wodi amaw impo se pelo yenyi bi na wejina na waka wasem bi amaw wo United Kingdom ha ana Ireland da mpenyumfo yi wo mu binum ye lawyers a obotum wejine ma amaw na waji bibi kakre bi wa bra obotum wa abo na wo bibiara so akodo welfare program kuriyara su ya chairman akwa opede ozubbo azi onu so behwe na yenuanum a wo United Kingdom na Ireland nyinara awona woye into event organization photographers awona wo hihye bibia amanfo ye one parties one weddings nyina obaka won nyinara abom dem obeya NDC member biara obenya any event de oye wedding outdooring bibiara no wetum wa bobo na wa ya ama wa bra onkotue sika te dem a okakafo obi wo paado ana enchen bi na wa baye da madina man chairman akona nimpemfu so bohwe na abribiara any welfare ana any social issue biara oba affect any member biara no obaba obope wechi na bibiara ode wodemo ana bibiara ode woye na wodebo wo program wa kodo no wetum wa yendam na ahomka wa ba welfare program ye bibia se nyamobo na se chairman akwa obeye chairman wo United Kingdom na Ireland no munsam kakra na me putu hu za atrewi odobobaji na woda aboa awo member na woda aboa yen NDC MPyi na epe benazi munua NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland to waba former chairman akwa nyamu buo na senensa kazebiu na ono so obegina na wahwe dem mama ka nyinara odzibe yi dwuma na party na akwa n'enyim.
Right. If you just tune in, thank you. Welcome to NFM Radio. Mansa Musa. I am here and I'm discussing issues pertaining or concerning what has happened yesterday yesterday at Ashama in a suburb of Accra or Greater Accra region. It so transpired that previously a young soldier who was on a leave, on properly granted leave to go see his mom. He met his untimely death in this area of Ashaman. Obviously, no one has actually been charged or arrested, not one particular individual. But the military, the soldiers, the army, apparently acting on intelligence, provided by who, only God knows, decided to, descend on people of Ashama like a big ton of bricks and rained terror on young people. The video is everywhere and it has gone international. Like I said today in the morning, a co-worker who saw it approached me to ask if those people being beaten or molested or brutalized, those being brutalized were actually found guilty of anything, or even at worst if they were armed robbers or proven armed robbers or terrorists. And this, my friend from Jamaica, he said, look, Mansa, even if they were terrorists, the way they are being treated in public, there should be uproar. I mean, nobody wants to see this. We know terrorists are supposed to be treated harshly, but to parade so many people defenseless, I mean, they are not resisting arrest or anything, and even they are not being interrogated. Those sort of tactics used, the harsh tactics, the harsh interrogatory methods used on terrorists, as harsh that those are, or those methods are employed, it's because, okay, you can say they are being interrogated. But what happened at Shama with those boys, lying on the floor being beaten? No one was interrogating them. They were just being beaten. Because somebody will say, why? He said, because I can. Because the soldiers can. So they had to do it. And that mentality, that when you put fear in people, that means next time a soldier man goes to pass there, he will be respected or feared, and nobody will even try and do that. But people are not silly. I mean, if somebody wants to commit that heinous crime of killing another person, they do it and they don't stay there, or they do it and run away. They escape. So if you meet people with such harsh treatment, perhaps those who did that deed, those who kill or whoever killed that military man, the soldier, maybe he wasn't even among the groups, the number of people who were paraded in public to be humiliated. You see, the question, I have the documents, the statement by the military high command. The fact that people had Indian hemp, weed, or other cocaine or other drugs on them is neither here nor there. This is a problem, a matter for the police to, periodically arrest people, or, how they want to do to clean up the area, fine. You don't just arrest people and start beating them in this day and age. You see, and what I'm saying, in my day, those days, right, very difficult to get a video evidence or photographic evidence. But people should be clever. The military high command, the hierarchy should be, I think they should be clever, they should be wise, they should be more intelligent than this. That either it will be recorded legally or illegally. You don't do this. I'm saying that if those people, who were being beaten, rounded up and being tortured and being humiliated, if those people were being interrogated, you see, that's what I'm saying. When even terrorists are arrested and they interrogate them in secret and in private, they are being forced to come out to something. to confess. Most of the times, because of the beating and the torture, they confess to anything anyway. So most of the times when they get to court, their lawyers, if only they can, that's why most terrorists are done. Americans don't send them to court. That's why they keep them going to them. Because if you send them to proper court, their lawyers would defend. Because, I mean, how did you extract those message from them? Beating somebody to a point where they feel that their life is at stake, and that if they say something, anything at all, you are going to leave them to live. They will say anything for you to be happy. So that harsh method of extracting information from opponents or enemies or terrorists in this regard, even though it works, but it works in a minute forms. I mean, sometimes you can get what you need. Sometimes you get what really you want to get from such interrogation, but they might not be genuine. They might not be the truth. But this is the case. I'm saying people who are not or were not resisting arrest. You tell a fellow man to pop his buttocks up so that you can whip it. It's nothing different from, if you read history book, you remember the guy called Joe Lynch or whatever. You know the word lynch. Lynch is a name of an American who really, his method was to hang black African slaves on trees. What they call lynching, his name. And his method, what our soldiers were doing to these civilians, there's no difference. Pop your buttocks up so that I can whip you. In public, on camera. And you want to say that their commanders are clever? You see, so as it is, okay, let me, this Mansa Musa play this guy from US, his clip. Okay, I've got this clip here. I'll play it for you if that's what you want to listen.
Yeah. Maybe crash some now. Your brother me catch him when they say, so what's the Ghana? Oh. Now, where do you know my name? Oh, the car me catch you. We now it's you. Oh. You are so better. And I say, you tell me catch you my name. American Ankatano, the Ghana food is all more. The Corona with Timuna Casano, a beauty, a watcher for, and I say, a Jimmy for all the Corona make a journal. Ah, a crowd would be Joe Bewar who you got a Jones on the America has had the almost so I had about almost Jimmy. Oh, almost young wish you almost Jimmy Ghana and a buy. Oh, almost New York, would do New York at Bronx. But Konomuga, sorry, them, Jimmy, Jimmy, so a fancy good Massachusetts. Oh, no, can I make a chrono? Ah,
this is playing.
And yes, phony Ghana, and I said New York and Yansa form will make me a kind of more than Jimmy. Oh, true. Oh, I said,
what type of plane is this?
You are winning so. Oh, but in conform, no, Anna, a bay on Moya. Son, it's a Jimmy, where Jimmy, I want to be wedging. So, where Jimmy, then of course, you be oh, Ghana, no Jimmy, money, no, I know, I know from shore, and your from so wedging. And now for a Corona Casano, a big young which of one I said Jimmy for. Oh, yes. Ah, now a crowd will you school out, who you can you TV, oh, the Bible school there. Ah, we're Jimmy for. Oh, yes. They see a crowd of Jones, a crowd of Jones will be down there. Debbie. About the Siabuse, or Cotu be there, to know Jones. Ah, Debbie. That's a money bathroom. More bathroom. Hey. Look at my face.
Like I could have killed a lot of people.
No, no for Yabomini. You know, I did the same, no for Yabomini.
Right. That tape isn't very clear, but yeah, I think you got the import of that conversation. That man going around saying that Obia was gonna be a Jimmy. Anyway, we can all see the funny side of it. But the problem we are facing is someone sent me. Okay, thank you. Someone sent me a reply to one of my write-ups that why should I say, or why am I saying that the state, that particular action was sanctioned by the state? You see, before the military high command will actually engage in this, seriously, if the military high command did engage in this wasn't a minor operation. It was an operation with lots of guns and lots of military equipments, right? So the state itself, the Ministry of or for Defense, Minister for Defense, that ministry and other what do you call it, state security agencies, they must be told, they must know in advance what these military soldiers were going to do in Ashama. Because when you move so much military equipment about, the chopper, the helicopters, the armored personnel, armored cars, and the rest of them, who knows where you are going and what you are going to do with it? So the military cannot just sanction this on their own. How do I say it? On their own, what do we call it, command level or local command level. It's right from the top. It's right from the top. If you are going to swoop an area to arrest over 100 people with military machines and guns and with military personnel, and you refuse to accept that this is not state sanctioned, that means the military actually did this on their own. And is that not dangerous? So it means is Nanado in control or not? You see, when you are responding to things, you can't come to on air to come and challenge or air your point. You can't. Because when him say, I will floor you. And and I'm sending messages. O patcher say, Sananado onim hohe. Onim de course hohe. HSA is not in control. That's onim hohe. After the incident, after what has happened, what has he said or what has he done? By now, he should have, today's Sona, he should have said, okay, he regrets. And on behalf of the military and his government, he apologizes to people who have been, what we call it, who have suffered such humiliation and such disgrace in public and beatings and everything, and that he has ordered an investigation into the whole thing, and that those soldiers who took part in that action have been suspended. Something. It is a state-sponsored. What the heck don't you understand? What the heck you don't understand that this is a state-sanctioned? If it's not about the state, let's say Kufuor so onim howe, and that did not happen on Korea. That means the man is not in charge. And if you're a president, you are not in charge of your military, your army, then what sort of president are you? Ceremonial president? Even ceremonial president, you got to have the leverage of power. You got to be directing things. I wrote my piece, and you are telling me, why do you say it is state sanctioned? Itigana na ewono, bonibia besibibi bonibia no, enya bino forms are binding yewe. The same are buying Kufuor to Kojina Parliament say, wato aeroplane mo wato vehicles bia mo to protect the people. Now say if they are using those things to terrorize people, then you will respond to my little write-up that why should I say it's a state sanction? Why, Jimmy? I don't want to talk like, young fellows like Chuni Jonas now, but Mumu Bia Jimmy, Muni Munyansa, Mudi emotions, your love, your stupid loyalty to your party, you can't think. Can you? Also, Mansa, play this one too for me. Okay, I'll play it for you. I'll play it for you.
People in this country, as MC, I may reply but we have to reply them. On my team, there are so many hypocrite journalists across the country, and as we me can't see Dan Kwakuye Buaso or your sports host ewo Peace FM. Mahama kwa launching a campaign ewo Volta region, and all the two say or moment a chance or bar or betra ex gratia a sikabia. We a mampenya government official no free power abane tebri the man say uko fiafa. Okay,
I'll play this. I didn't know it's about this. When you send me the clip, I thought it is about what I'm talking about. Tautology is about what I'm talking about. Anyway, 0208-123-5911 or 07876-251-261. If you call any of these numbers, I will let you speak, contribute, or challenge me on what I'm saying. May say, what happened in Ashama, it was state-sponsored or state-sanctioned because the military hierarchy were not acting in isolation. No, they can't do that. If it is just a simple matter of about few soldiers going to arrest some very few people together with the police, well, operation, a proper operation, or the police, even that, the military in a democratic dispensation wouldn't act in isolation on their own. If you are going to a certain place to go and arrest suspected armed robbers or terrorists, this thing should be known up to it should be on the table of the president. So if soldiers have gone to Ashama to go and run up over 128 human beings, and after they have been arrested, and okay, you put them in a bus and take them to various police stations, you say you are investigating, even though it's so many of them, you start releasing them as okay, maybe we can accept it. But to actually parade them on the floor, on the ground, in the mud, and whip them and molest them, humiliate them, torture them. And the president have not said anything or have not instigated any investigation into this, and you say it's not state sanctioned. Asembe Ukraine. I don't know, Mama. You some way, Jimmy. Rabba Nadia Abbas. Today being a woman's day, this woman is standing for, he wants to be, what do we call it? He wants to be an MP. So he wants to stand for the NDC Okaikwe constituency. Let me give her a call and see what we can do. Today, I am seriously talking about a behavior incident at Ashama. But today being 8th of March and being the International Women's Day, let me give a chance. Let me give audience to one lady, one woman who wants to stand for the NDC to challenge for the Okaikwe Central constituency. I'm sure it's in Accra. Her name is, let me check the name again, Hajia Nadia Abbas Al Hassan. What a name. What a pretty, beautiful, beautiful name. Let's see. Hajia, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, they.
Hello.
Now good. Let me ask another thing since we are in Accra. Toyota.
Mfana drama song, yo Dubawa.
And since you are in Ghana, let me ask you another language. What is saying?
Mehuye pa nkasa.
And Togbi, who used to be my boss, Rollins from Volta, into a kind of casa and a casa F1.
F1.
What pass it test, you know. Anyway, now Hajia Abbas, HNAA. So it's Hajia Nadia Abbas Al Hassan. You say you want to compete or contest for the Kaikwe Central to become an MP. Why that? Why so? Akwaba.
That is correct. Well, it's time for the women to also be given the nod and to have a say, because women throughout history have always supported the world. Even in the darkest time in the history of humanity, women have been bearing the torch to share the light of hope. In Africa, we have been beside our men in the struggle to maintain our cultural heritage and identity. We are taking leadership roles in building our society, in politics and in commerce. We are playing leading roles with our men. There haven't been a moment where our faith and love for others, peace and tranquility has shaken. And never cease to struggle, stand up and be counted. We stand tall to be the beacon. Even when the tides are high and the storms are raging, we beyond to keep our society in order for the betterment of life. So that is why I believe I'll be contesting to be able to bring this all in motion.
I see. So, where you are contesting at the moment, who is the MP there?
It's an MPP, Mr. Buama.
I see. The reason I ask is that I read somewhere today that for those constituencies where you have a sitting MP, what campaign has been suspended. Is that the case?
That is correct. That is for the constituency that already have an NDC MP there.
Sure.
Not with the orphan constituency. Ours is orphan.
Oh, okay. I see. I get what you mean. Right. So, what do you think your chances are? Because yesterday I had this young man from Eastern Region. He's the Eastern Regional Chairman of NDC, Mr. Kevo, Dr. Kevo. I had him here in the studio live. I think he's still in London today. And, I said to him that obviously the government is failing, but you don't only have to rely on the failure of the government to, you don't have to rely on that to think that will give you a win. What makes you think that you can challenge for that seat?
Well, what I believe is women have to stand out. Because let's say, for instance, in Ghana, when they mention Yasantua, she lead a war to be able to encounter. When you mention Queen Amina of Zaria in Nigeria, every time they hear her name, it's shaking. Margaret Thatcher in UK was able to lead. So in Ghana, a woman can one day become a president. We have to stand out. So right now, I think it's a time for women to stand up, because Ghana itself is called a motherland, not a fatherland. So if it's able to declare as a motherland, what's special about women It's high time women have to leave their cooking and cleaning of plates, and so that when men are counted, women too are counted, which is gender equality. That is what I believe in.
I see. Aja, before we carry on, did you share the links with your people? Because it's very important.
Yet.
If you didn't, I can give you time. I can give you time to share both the radio and the Facebook links.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to just put you. Cancel the call. Then I will resend those links again so that you can send it for the next 2-3 minutes. Then we'll come back to continue with our conversation. Is that right? Is that all right?
That is all right.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Right. So, like I said, I'm going to send Hajia, who wants to be, no, not Hajia who wants to be a millionaire, but Hajia who wants to be an MP in Ghana. I need to send her the links for Facebook and for the radio so that she can distribute it to her people. After all, this campaigning or this, what do you call it, comments he's making here on air, her people at the Okankwe Central in Accra, they must hear and know, and they must hear her speak. It's only fair. So we've suspended the conversation for a while. Believe me, I'll get her back to come and continue. Then we take it from there. Tonight, what I'm discussing is more of what happened at Ashama and the way forward. Honestly speaking, it is a disgrace. For those of you who have just tuned in, this morning I had to go somewhere and a co-worker came holding his mobile and the pictures or the video of what happened in Ashama, right? He is from the Caribbean, I think either Barbados or Jamaica or something like that. So he asked me, what's going on? Those people, are they armed robbers or they are terrorists? So I had to tell him the truth of what has happened. And he exclaimed, you know how these Caribbeans, the Jamaicans, especially, they have a swearing sort of where they say, bomber clad. And he said, look, even terrorists, when you treat them like this in public, there will be an uproar. So why this? And how many of those people being molested in public are actually guilty of what they thought they might be? So it's all very wrong. And our president, okay, our president doesn't seem to understand what is going on. He doesn't seem to know what a disgrace is. A president that somebody from your own party will come and complain that before people come and visit you in your office, they have to pay some huge sums of money. He didn't care about that. A president that was found, clearly plagiarizing other people's speeches. He didn't give a damn. He didn't care about it. A president that everybody around the world knows, you spend so much money on hired private jets. Akufo-Addo didn't care. He didn't see any disgrace or no shame at all. A president that the country has become, the butt of all jokes, international jokes. That with all our monetary and finance situation, Akufo-Addo wants to build a cathedral. Akufo-Addo doesn't seem to care. So when you have soldiers going with all their military gear, full force, to surround and arrest, cajole people, force people to sleep or lie in the mud on the streets and to be beaten, and Akufo-Addo doesn't care. This is what I'm talking about today. But in between, I need to do my usual interviews. And tonight, I've got one very, very pretty, not just a pretty face, but also very clever woman who is standing for the Okaikwe Central constituency. He wants to stand in for the NDC. And for those of you, especially one platform, say you are always NDC. Look, I call the NPP, all their big shots. I have all their numbers, both here in the UK and in Ghana. I want them to come and have their say. I don't mind. I mean, if you don't agree with me, I can't force them to like what I say. But when you call them, they fear the argument. They fear the debate. They fear that even though they will try to defend everything, they know they are going to fail. So they fear to come. Let's go back and see if Aja is ready, then we can continue with our conversation. Let's see if Aja is ready. You are listening to Mansa Musa, and the program is Fire Obeni. Like I say, as for fire, you always make sure that fire is your at least your friend. But fire should be your servant. Don't allow fire to become your manager or your master. The moment fire becomes your master, I tell you what, you will feel that fire is now your enemy. So be careful with fire. But metaphorically, fire will burn you. That means if you come and you don't come with the truth, you don't come and face Mansa Musa with the truth, then of course, fire will burn you. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You gotta see it.
Abisiafo sese die yenam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina yenchia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye hu hia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e wo Play Store dia ma wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be braduo num so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so a ayentem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manu edi foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so top connect Fesika mane wa dofo asumdiem a wonchia kapre top connect yenso ye die
Aja, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Very good. Very good. Hajia is what do you call it? An NDC member in Accra. Specifically, she is at the what do we call it? The Okaikwe Center. Sorry about that, because I'm reading something else. Okaikwe Central. She wants to become the next MP for NDC. Hajia, can you describe geographically Okaikwe, where it is in Accra? You know, greater where it is exactly.
Yeah, Okaikwe Central consists of Nyamiche, La Paz, Abeka, and Tesano.
I see. Any close, where is it? Letabia, Koshi, those areas?
No, that's far away. Okay. Okaikwe Central is around the La Paz.
Okay.
Abeka, Nyamiche, Tesano.
Okay. All right. I've got it now.
Near North Commission.
Okay. All right. So the question before we had to break for you to share was that how are you going to defeat the NPP MP who is in there? What is your appeal apart from the fact that, honestly speaking, like you said, it's time to bring in the woman folk, to bring in women to also demonstrate what they can do. And apart from the fact that you seem and sound to be very intelligent, but politics, being intelligent alone is not enough. Sometimes charisma also helps and everything. What do you think are your what do we call your selling point, your trump card, so to speak?
Yes, thank you for the compliments of being intelligent. In politics, one is strategic. So when you have your strategy in place, which I will not disclose now, because the moment you want to hit on something and you already sell out your strategy, that means you don't have any strategy. Because if you really have a strategy, you wouldn't sell it out before even acting towards it. When I win the election, then I'll come back and tell why or how my strategy was.
I'm referring to not a secret strategy to win, but the fact that you think you are better than the one those people have, the people of Okaikwe Central. You are better than what they've got now. It's what maybe I want you to say, not your secret. Yes. Obviously, you are not going to tell me that you've got a sack full of dollars you are going to share. So tell us how you are going to win, or why you are better than him.
There's so many things that is lacking in the constituency, which I believe don't have to also be looked at. The people, even though it's mentioned that they are in the city, because La Paz and Nyamiche, Abeka, they are all cities. Sorry, sir.
No problem. Carry on.
Yeah. If you go to the city now, you realize that the people there, even on a Monday morning, you see the youth sitting on the base and gisting because they don't have anything to do. These are something that has to be brought in place to help the people. As a city MP for 2 occasions, I believe we should have looked into that one to make sure the youth get a job and be promoted and encourage them for education. But not on a Monday morning. It's saddening my heart to go around the constituency and see men, boys, sitting on the base and chatting, drinking attire. That is not supposed to be done.
I see. So if I can sum it up, your plan is to bring about, the creation of jobs. People should have jobs to do.
People should have jobs to do.
Jobs, actually, Oh, carry on. Sorry.
And people should be educated. Like, for instance, when I was in the community as a young lady, I went on single-handedly to teach a whole school that belongs to the National Chief Imam, who is happened to be my grandfather. I have to teach the whole youth in the school from class 1 to class 6 voluntarily without taking any payment from anybody. And I also held their hands and started engaging them in schools outside the community. Because we, the Muslims, we believe that the schooling, education as an English is not necessary. The necessary one is Arabic, because that is when you die, they will ask you. I told them, no. Before you die, you have to live and speak and stand out for yourself. If you continue doing that, that means you are bringing backwardness to the community. So I single-handedly taught the whole school. You come to the school, you see everybody quiet. You think they have teachers all over. It was only I who was teaching the whole school at the point. And still hold their hands and took them outside the community to be able to school outside there. So when they see the challenge of other youth going to school, they will now try to catch up with it. And I'm happy to see so many people who have taught in the school, have even gotten their university graduates, some working in banks, and some, what have you, some internationally and co. I feel happy to see all that. So I think this is a second place coming. Now that we have political in front, if I front the line, I'm going to do more than what I've done before, which I have a lot of youth that can testify to that. So to me, if really the improvement has done all this, we will not go around the community and the constituency to see youth sitting on bases with no jobs, not even thinking of schooling. I don't think that is right. As a mother, I want to leave a legacy there, so that tomorrow when I'm no more, they will remember that somebody like this was with us. She rescued us from our tragedy. I
see. So you are going to fight. You are going to fight for improvement in education and fight for jobs in your constituency. Is that not it?
That is correct.
Okay, so at least this one, you have to convince your constituents that you can really do this. And your trump card, I think, is the fact that the jobs front or the education, in your constituency is not up to date. So that will form basis of your campaign, which is really something. Let's move on to come to the general, apart from your constituency. When we talk about jobs and you talk about the standard of living, what happened in Ashaman? The fact that, let's forget the specifics of the soldiers actually going to beat people up. But the fact that the general, idea or perception is that, those people in Ashama, most of them are crooks. What do you think as a government, if you guys win power, you must do to, sanitize such places, as we say in the UK here, to modernize such places, to, change that way of living in areas like Ashaman and other crime-ridden places? What do you say to that?
Well, a person like me with a humanity in my heart and a philanthropist, I believe whenever people want to eat and they are able and they want to throw it away, they reserve. If they are able to give such people, like the widows who have children and they might not get what to eat, if you are able to help them, I don't think the children will grow up to become what they have become now.
Even though
resources we have in Ghana from our motherland, if we are able to use that resources to help such people in education, in jobs, I don't think they wake up and sit. So to me, as a philanthropist, I believe that if we are given that chances of sharing love, the children can go wayward. But But if she's able to have food to feed the children and good education, I think the children will grow. Will learn to be married and not to think of even prostitution. And even the boys will not think of stealing.
So obviously, I know people keep phoning somebody. I know that.
I think that will eradicate.
Yeah, I know people want to phone you to talk, so that's why we are being cutting out in and out. What you have just said, we have to clarify this, that you are not saying that poverty and lack of, let's say, education or lack of opportunity is a justification for crime. You are not saying that, are you?
That is correct.
Okay. We need to make that clear, that people need opportunities, but being in crime, doesn't being poor doesn't justify anyone to go and kill anybody or anything. Now let's talk about specifically what happened. I mean, the thing is, you see, soldiers have done this, but somebody wrote to me, responded to my write-up that I said it's a state-sanctioned sort of operation. And the fellow is annoyed. He said, why should I say it's the state? Why do you think, has Nanado, let me ask you, has Nanado said anything about what happened in Ashama?
Nanado, he hasn't said anything yet. I believe we should put them in order. He is the commander of the army forces. So this is his duty to sanitize the area and put law and order there. I think when he voiced that out, there will be sanity there. And all this killing, because the soldiers, the president, is the chief of staff for he commands the army. So he should be able to put sanity there. Because everything a soldier has to do has to be controlled. They cannot go and do what they feel like doing. We are not in war zone here. In as much as these children have problems with all this stealing and stuff like that, or brutalizing, but they should sit them down, find a psychologist and question them why they did that. To me, I believe if they question them on that, it will sanitize whatever situation that is there.
So,
because as Nanado being the commander in chief of the army forces, he should be able to talk to the soldiers to retreat from this such act.
I see. Okay, so in the end, I won't take too much of your time. What do you finally do you want to tell your people? Well, those in Europe, you can talk to them, and your people back at home. What's the message you want to send?
Well, today is International Women's Day. I'll use that opportunity to tell the women to stand out, not to remain only in the house and be cooking, and that age is gone. Margaret Thatcher, Santua, Queen Amina was never like that. Let's stand out. When we are counting, as soon as they count the men, they'll count the women too. Let's share the gender equality. You understand me? And also, like the war zone and stuff that is going on, let's help them. People who are able. Let them bring out some kind of food and stuff to help the women and the children and the orphans. So I believe when we give love, we get love in return. That's what I believe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We wish you all the best. And I wouldn't say may the best man win, because I want you to win. I'm biased. So may God help you to win. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
right, so Fire Benio Sibisa, thank you very much. Tonight is the 8th of March 2023. As such, 8th of March 2023 is the day they call International Women's Day. I wanted to interview some prominent lady, only in Ghana, only to be told that she, at the moment, is doing the Zoom conferencing with some other platform. So it will be very difficult for her to come and talk to us. But hopefully, if we, okay, thank you. Hopefully, we may, we may get him to. Okay, hopefully we may get her to come and speak to us. That woman actually is Madam Jean Nana Nana Opoku Ajima, is it? Yeah. Jean Nana Opoku Ajima wanted to have some few celebratory anniversary words with her, but it's so unfortunate that she's on this Zoom thing, and I tried to join the Zoom to my system. Yeah, my system keep asking me so many questions that previously I wasn't being asked. So I want to know if I can join and connect so that we can hear exactly exactly what is happening. But then, if you want to call me to talk to me about the Ashama incident, if you are of the view that the soldiers were right in doing what they did, you can ring and tell me. I will let you speak and go away. On the other hand, if you think what they did was very wrong, it was so primitive, it shouldn't happen in this day and age, you can also, okay, you can also let me know so that I will let you speak and have your say. So that's where we go. But honestly speaking, for me, I think this day and age, you see, these things happened some time ago during the military regime. And yeah, those days where there was nothing like, democratic rule. Even then, the head of, the head of state or the people in charge, the hierarchy, they didn't want such things as military, taking the law into their hands, to molest civilians here and there. You remember one of the sayings that Rawlings came about with, that a soldier is a civilian in uniform and a civilian is a soldier on leave. Just to bring to our understanding that we are one and the same, and that if you are wearing the uniform, it doesn't mean you are superior to the one who is not wearing. And if you are not wearing the uniform, that doesn't mean you are inferior to the one wearing. And this, we should have learned all this long time ago. But we haven't. And still, we have that primitive colonial idea of soldiering, that soldier man has been killed. So you have to run so many people up and, beat them up. And I'm telling you, we have people on some platforms responding, telling me that I am wrong. To tell me that I am wrong. Let me go for a quick of these, what do you call it? These contractual messages, and I'll be back.
Democratic Congress NDC no nyam form man member mo UK ni Ireland chapter no ya ye then as say be to aba chapter chairman fofo ya hwe de chinene mum no koto on swear enyo nyam for Dr. Joe Ajimai the restoration man the father say the party ni wenim kai odi amonyesema kutile yi e we to the voice wa fofo masro nkoso oni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotitru na esini nan so e made bebre no de gu akwam a obeye de amaye bi ni se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika £3 empemenum na ato ase e ye £5,000 o santre maguo ni mama honso £1,000 na ebe show mu dwumade mu kida na esigina ye Dodon swa, mechire afoforo omo betro omudin abeka party ne ho de omo mbrakura o omo sebeka omudi card ententem so na atwe adom abeka ye ho eye bosume miense bia nso party mu mpanimfu a odi dwumadi ebe show mu nse bia no obetu safro omo atena se na de ye de show mu nse no omo bu ho aponta mako we di bebre na no be ya maye yo onua se kwatre kwose bo ma wontuma sanidi ni Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man, chapter chairman ana yantumano.
Wana mutanen NDC da ke United Kingdom da Ireland chapter ina roƙon ku har wa yau ku vote ku ba chairman Akwa shi kada ne wanda in Allah ya yarda ya win ya zama chairman zai kawo welfare program da zai taimaka muku ya taimaka ma party mu. Daga cikin wannan welfare program dukkan member da ke neman taimako lokacin da ya shiga cikin masuwa abin da ya kama daga £50 zuwa £400 welfare program na ya tabbatar a baka a taimaka maka in Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zaman ka a kasar United Kingdom shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna roƙonka member NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba chairman Akwa shi kare ne wanda yake zai taimaka ma fatin mu a lokacin da muke ciki. Wannan shine sanarwa ko wannan shine abin da muke roko ku taimaka mishi Allah kuma ya taimaka mu duka gaba daya Allah ba mu nasara. Mun gode muku da kuka saurare mu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Right, so it is, yeah. Okay. You are listening to Mansa Musa. And thank to Hajia, who I just spoken to in all the way in Accra. She wants to be the MP for Okaikwe Central. We wish her all the best. We wish her well, honestly. And I know the fight is going to be a very serious fight, but hopefully he's going to win. Yes, so I'm discussing this issue right in the not very far away from the center of Accra, where if you see the video, then apart from the video itself, okay, all right, okay. Apart from the video, the other issue, okay.
What you want to do, where you want to be. It is also important to look at who and what legs have gone ahead of you. Who can help you do it better? And that is where you need each other the most. A sister has done this.
The NDC group here in the UK, they've organized Women's Day for International Women's Day. It's on Zoom. So let me connect to that Zoom and we listen to some of the messages.
Don't be shy to ask somebody to teach you, because it is in learning that our experiences are enhanced. So don't shy away
from saying that I have an inadequacy here. And then the other thing is that after you have identified the person, you should be prepared psychologically to also say that I am going to learn. And so I need that humility to come down and learn. There are stereotypes in every field that we go into. How do we embrace those stereotypes and then make sure that we work towards achieving our ambition without being stopped by those stereotypes? In politics, when most women who began, in fact, had more issues than us because women need permission from the home. Women began seeking permission and not informing like men inform that, oh, this is what I'm going to do. But women need to say, I want to go here. Do I have your permission to go there? Especially when you're a married woman. In fact, even when you are not married, your parents are there to give you approval for things that you need to do and what you don't need to do. And so once you are getting used to it, those who went ahead of us, they had the stereotypes. Every woman, pardon me to say, in politics, every woman achiever, every woman at the peak of their career had climbed there, sleeping with men along the way. And it is not true. It does not hold all the time. Most women have gone up there on merit. When women are climbing up there, people ask, can she do it? What is her capacity? What is her capability? They ask all these questions. And yet when a man is coming, the man is quickly accepted. And so when you pick up some of these stereotypes, it prepares you to brace what is ahead of you. You know within yourself how you are passionate out getting what you want. And so when people start calling you names, they tag you. The stigma that comes with the things that you want to do, you want to make sure that you understand properly that this is you. Clearly, this is the image you have of yourself, and this is the image you want to paint out there. So it is not what people are giving you to, or how people are branding you to sell yourself. That is the most important thing. But how you see yourself and how you brand yourself and sell yourself out there is also very critical. In realizing our ambition, it is, as a woman, it is also important for us to know that there are times that you are going to be alone, all alone, without friends, without family, without anybody. And those times should not be times that will break us down. Of course, it is a stage and a space. So if you find that space and it is time to let out some of the few, it is not inappropriate. It is not bad to, let go certain things. It is not inappropriate to break down when you need to break down in that, private space. It is important that you own that private space, because I quite remember many at times I've had friends going out and leaving me alone. When I say going out, it's not just the fun aspect of it. You see that, aside work, aside other things, people have a life. And then I keep working, it is one hardcore thing to another hardcore thing. So I move from the classroom to, the workspace. And these are not too fun filled spaces that you can enjoy. And so I found myself coming to a point in my life that I didn't have much of a social life. I came into politics, and especially after my PhD, I'm trying to, adjust and have fun. So my fun space I create within my current political space. When I meet my comrades, I'm able to, loosen up. I'm able to dance and sing and, have all the fun within that space. I now create the space for myself, and I share that space with others. And it is also a space that helps me to learn and enhance my experience in politics. It is not always a time or a period for me to, have a psychological breakdown, but to reflect and look at how far I have come, the things I had outlined in this particular career to achieve. How am I achieving them? How am I impacting lives? So I use that time of being alone, walking alone, to also reflect and come out of that space a better person. As we celebrate women today, I pray that all sisters will learn to either find or create that space. If you find yourself there accidentally, it is important that you make sure that you own the space and use it to enhance yourself. In achieving our ambition, nothing should stop us. Nothing should stop us. Identify your mentors, make sure that you get proper handholding, proper coaching, and then you are able to go there where you want to go to. Nothing should stop you, not society, not even yourself. That which you need to fuel your ambition is enough within you. And as we open our eyes, as we share experiences, as we learn from others in this day and age, we read about others, we are able to get to where we want to be. I want to thank you for the space, for the opportunity to share this little with you. I thank you once again and wish you a happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Agnes Na Momolate, for this insightful presentation. If anybody sits through this presentation and doesn't change, we'll have to send a person to Obinim. I believe it's insightful enough to change our thoughts, our perspectives about life. It is to give us the morale that we need to face the world. As wicked and cruel as the world is, I believe that we are well equipped this evening to face the world, the rough world, and make the best out of it. I see so many reactions. I read so many messages. Unfortunately, we are so much behind time that. Thank you very much, Honorable. I know the people of Nungwa will still momo it. Thank you so much for inspiring us. Yeah, and Azambawo says, brilliant presentation with love. Rami says, thank you very much, Honorable, for your presentation. It has really touched me. Eunice Mansa says, God bless you, Mom. Na Momo. It's very insightful. We can go on and on and on, but the conclusion is that our ladies are inspired to do more. They are inspired to dare the status quo. They are inspired to go beyond their comfort zone and make it happen. And we are grateful for your time. God richly bless you. And finally, yeah, Honorable, you want to say something?
Oh, no, I said amen to that.
Oh, okay, amen, amen, amen. Nicodemus in there, he says, brilliant presentation. Okay. Finally, we are wrapping up and we are coming to the end of the program. We are left with just one more speaker. I believe she is a household name. If you're in NDC and you're a young person in NDC and you have not come across the name Mago, then please, you need to come and see me for registration, because she has been a voice out there pushing and ensuring accountability from the MPP, which they can never give us, because they have been created to loot and destroy the nation. And that is why we need to come together and boot them out and bring His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to rescue this beautiful country that we have. The next speaker is Honorable Margaret Ansay, aka Mago. We were together from, student, days. She was ahead of me. She has been a teen women's commissioner, teen secretary, teen president, and she became the national teen coordinator. And gradually, she has grown into a very fine, astute politician. She was recently, before we were out of office, the metropolitan MC, the metropolitan chief, municipal chief executive for Suhum before we left office. In fact, due to her dexterity in speaking abilities or communication abilities, she was appointed as the deputy spokesperson to the NDC campaign team in 2020 elections. She's an all-round politician, practical, somebody who has seen it all. And I would like on this note to invite her to come and share with us the essence of party loyalty. There are many young people who want to involve themselves in politics because of what they stand to benefit and not because of what they stand to give to the party and to the nation as whole. I believe that it must be more of what we can give than what we can receive. And she will take us through the essence of, pardon me, it's been a long day. The essence of party loyalty. So if Honorable Margaret and Say Mago is online, we'll plead that she comes in, even though it's a bit late. She will wrap it up for us so that we can all have our beautiful sleep. So Honorable Mago, if you are online, kindly. We are all yes for you. Honorable Margot will join us in just a jiffy. Let's just whilst we are waiting for Honorable Margot, let me just quickly go through some of the messages. Nazareth again. Nazareth, I think I need to give you a gift. You have been with us since we began, and you are still here. Thank you so much. I believe you have learned a lot. A solid and very explicit submission by Honorable Joyce Bauer. I loved every bit of her coaching on everything about communication and its antics. So inspiring, mind-blowing, and enticing. Hey, Nazareth, you have the words, so you have to be a communicator. I have learned a lot, and I'm positive all participants have, which subsequently will affect our lives positively. Honorable Margot, I think we would have to wait for her just a bit more. So please, if anybody has a question, just or mute, come in. We still have Honorable Agnes Namomolate with us. And don't forget, she's also a PhD holder. So we must add it. She's with us, so we can together listen to you and attempt to answer your questions where we can. Somebody just asked me, but I've been talking all day and I've not introduced myself. It's true. I should have introduced myself long ago. That escaped me. I don't know how that happened. So I am Ruth Della Sedo, your Deputy National Youth Organizer for NDC. And we decided to put this program together with the national team secretariat led by Madam Henrietta Abena Kunedu Asante, who is the Deputy Team Coordinator, National Team Coordinator, and Madam Botele Kubate, Loretta Botele Kubate. We did this together so that we can use it as a means to inspire you, and we believe it will make a lot of difference. So please, if you have any questions, kindly
Madam Ruth, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, so I'm Henry Oko Oni.
Okay. Hello.
Deputy Constituency Committee. My question, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question after Madam Obuebia's presentation.
Okay.
The question is simple. How best can you approach a comrade? Because she talked about our appearances on set and I mean our dressing. How best can you approach a comrade, especially when you meet him or her on set, and then you actually want to advise him or her on a dress? Like, how best can you do that so that it won't sound offensive or some way? I know some people, you try to correct them on certain things, they'll be like, okay, so if you're telling me about what I'm wearing, why don't you buy some for me? Blah blah blah. How best can you handle such issue? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. So unfortunately, we are many different people with different orientations and different perspectives about life. Everybody has a way of receiving information, and you cannot blame them because sometimes their background and how they were trained makes them so. I would say that no matter what the situation, be as nice as possible. If you feel there's something wrong with a person, you want to approach the person and talk to the person about it, please do so. Because there are people who would immediately want to, want to be rude and all of that. But when they leave you or when you leave them in their quiet moment, they know and appreciate and understand what you tell them. So I would say that still approach them, but be as nice as possible. So for example, if a lady is on set with a short mini skirt, exposing virtually everything on set, and you think that you need to, maybe as a man, it is not appropriate that you approach her. Why don't you find somebody who is a bit more senior, a female or a woman who is, older, who can approach her and talk to her in a motherly manner? And I bet you, when you use that tactics, definitely that person can listen. When is a man and maybe the way the person spoke or the kind of words he used you think is not appropriate, I believe that you can approach the person and say, oh, my brother, I listened to you today. You were superb. I loved the way you spoke. With the exception of this, I felt that maybe if you had put it this way, it would have sounded a bit more considering our culture, cultural context and all of that. I believe that if you had said it this way, maybe a lot more people would have related. Yes, it's going to make the work difficult, but that is the price you have to pay to ensure that you correct the person. So I hear our sister, Honorable Margaret Ansay, is among us now, and she's ready to deliver eloquently as she has always done. So please, I crave your indulgence, and she is the last speaker. Let's give her our attention as you have done through. And let me commend you that I think this is one of the best Zoom programs I have ever held. Everybody here has been decent and you have been very, very cooperative. Thank you so much, and may God richly bless you. Honorable Margot, if you are in, please, your audience have been waiting for you. So please unmute yourself. If you want to use the video, please do and come in. We are waiting. Madam Botele, can you kindly unmute Madam Margot? Loretta.
I've asked her to unmute.
I can't find her. I'm just looking for her.
Oh, okay. So just type
Margot. I've asked her to mute. I think she's unmuted.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Madam Mago. Honorable Mago, we are waiting, please.
She's talking, but we can't get her.
We can hear. Oh, it's unfortunate.
I think the setting will be from her side.
Yes, I think so. Madam Mago, please, if you are listening, kindly check your audio on the phone or the laptop, or your gadget. Check the audio there and allow the audio. Anyway, I think regardless, it has been a very successful interaction with less hitches. It's unfortunate that the last part has gone this way, but in all things, we give thanks.
Hello. Musa. Please, are you the one saying hello?
Yeah, his hand has been up for a while.
Yes, I think you can go ahead.
Okay.
And also Mago is here.
Wow. We are grateful.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Musa, sorry. Please, I'm sorry. We would have to just truncate a little. We have Mago in. Kindly just hold on with your contribution.
Okay.
We'll get back.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, please. We can hear you. We are all here.
So sorry. I think I have a few challenges. Please, I'm so sorry. And happy International Women's Day to you all. I know there are men here, so I mean the men, I don't know, happy whatever you came to give us moral support. Thank you. And thank you all participants for, I mean, holding on to this time. It's almost 10 p.m. I mean, it's so admirable. Thank you. And thank you to the earlier speakers, our mothers, our professors, our sisters, and everyone. The topic I was given, I don't know why I keep getting emotional topic, yet I'm not an emotional person. Hello.
We can hear you live and colored.
Okay, my topic, the party loyalty. Party loyalty, the key to success of every political party. I believe, I won't take much of your time, we're going to end soon. I believe nobody has seen loyalty before. It is not tangible, but it's an emotional thing. It is just like love, patience, anger, all those things that you can think of. But why do we need to be loyal to a political party? First of all, I believe we all understand what loyalty is about. But the definition that intrigued me, that is a strong feeling of support or allegiance. And looking at the similarities, there's one word, bond. Loyalty means bond. Why must you bond with the NDC? And that is the key to the success or the longevity of the party. We are all stakeholders of this political party. First of all, you must see the NDC as your baby. I tell people that see the NDC as your newfound love, where you will talk about the NDC all the time. you tell the good things about the NDC. The bad ones, we discuss it in the room. We don't take it outside. But the good ones, you say it over and over and over again. It's very, very important. And when you see the NDC as your own, then it is something that it's like an inheritance where you can transfer to your children's children. There are few examples I need to rush because it lays the NDC as an inheritance to their children. We have somebody like the former Minister for Tourism, Madam Elizabeth Ajari. It was the father. The name was the father. The father built the foundation for her. We have someone like Madam Betty Crosby Mansa. The father was a former MP. The father left that name as an inheritance for her in the NDC. We have other people that you can think of. And now it is you and me. How are we leaving such an inheritance for our children's children? Can you imagine that in the next 20, 30, 15, 10 years, my daughter will come up and you meet her somewhere like, my mom is Margot. You're like, oh, Margot. But you see, you will just open the opportunity, or you pave the way for my child because I have left my name as an inheritance. But if I leave a good name, I can only leave a good name through loyalty. The NDC is like a husband to some of us. And most often you hear women say, my husband doesn't treat me well, he beats me, he does this. But because of the children, I'm not leaving. I'm not encouraging anybody to stay in an abusive marriage. But the point I'm trying to make is that the husband, which is the NDC, can maltreat you. Sometimes you work so hard and you feel you're not rewarded. Sometimes you've done so much, you've given in a lot, but you feel like nobody recognizes that. But my dear, I bet you, because of the children, who are the children? Mother Ghana. NDC is a political party that builds a nation. And for that matter, you will never abandon the NDC because of Mother Ghana. We are so fortunate that we get leaders who have the heart of mothers. So when they come into office, we build this nation. So because of Mother Ghana, do we do certain things to show disloyalty to the party? Sometimes you wonder, I've always been loyal. NDC there, it's my party. I've never been disloyal. I can't betray NDC. There are several ways that we do. And one most important thing, because our upcoming primaries is just a month or two away, I would like to use that as an example. How do you elect the leaders for the party? Do you look at people who are competent? Are you looking out for people who can work? How are you choosing a member of parliament for the NDC through primaries? Are you looking for commitment? Are you looking for dedication? Are you looking for intelligence? What are you looking for? How do you choose these people for the party? If you don't get it right, you have betrayed the NDC. Therefore, when we are selecting leaders, because this party needs human resource and a very rich one. And the human resource will form the leadership that can project the NDC into the future. So if you do not elect people consciously, if you do not think about the future of the party and you just go to elect anybody at all, you have not served the party well. And therefore you have betrayed the party. The trust that the party has in you, you've just betrayed the party. So please, what I would like to leave with us is that let's see the NDC as a tradition where we will leave it onto our children's children, the generations yet unborn, and let our name be that inheritance that we are going to leave. And we can only leave our names as an inheritance through loyalty. Let's serve the party well. Let's choose good leaders for the party. And one most important thing, the key takeaway that I'm going to leave with you, because loyalty is an emotional thing, and this bothers on moral issues,
what I would like to leave with you is Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. And it says, do not be deceived, for God cannot be mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, ye shall reap. Whatever you are giving to the NDC today, that is what the modern people call karma. I call it the universe giving you back all that you have given to it. If you sow bad energy, if you sow wickedness, if you sow selfishness, if you sow eye service, the universe will put all together and dump it at your doorstep one day. But if you sow hard work, our National Deputy Youth Organizer is known for one thing. Even when she was pregnant, we all saw how she worked. During COVID, when she was moving around the constituencies, I was so worried because she had just delivered. And these are some of the inheritance that she will leave for her children's children. What are you giving to the universe that will come back to you one day? Do not be deceived, for God cannot be mocked. Whatsoever you will sow today, my dear, it will come back to you. Some of us are examples, we are living testimonies, and all that I leave with you is stay with the NDC, work for the NDC, seek for the interest of the NDC, and let's build Ghana. And one day, it shall all come back to us. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, my Honorable Margaret Ansay, aka M for Mago. It's been another insightful one. Colleagues, this is not the best you have seen because she's just mindful of the time, and you know she's worried that you have spent so much on data, especially in today's economic crunch that we all find ourselves in, and that is why she wants to shorten it. But I can promise that this is a movement that we have begun. It's not going to end here. I will put my contact out to all participants to have that direct interactions with me. Let's keep this bond together. And our mentors, we are going to put them together. We'll try and link all of you to one or two of them so that you can have that direct relationship with them. Anytime you have issues politically, in terms of leadership, in terms of grooming, in terms of whatever, they will be all ears and ready to support you and work with you and get so push you to get to where your destiny, has for you. Honorable Margot, we are so grateful. I know you never disappoint, and I am happy you never disappointed us. I'm sure the participants have also not regretted staying awake up till now, and spending their
They have really done well, and I'm so impressed.
Exactly, we are so
really
grateful.
done well.
Perpetual Odia, I see you. You have been with us from day one. Enam Gumashi,
wow,
with us. Lady Mary Kekeli, you have been with us. I'm so excited. Thank you. Colleagues, I would just want to say that we have a country, Ghana, to rescue. This country has been dipped into a complete mess. We are in bankruptcy. In the next 2 months, if IMF and its cahoots do not come to our aid, this country will grind at a halt, complete halt. Nothing will move. The government will not be able to pay salary workers, teachers, lecturers, doctors, military men, police. You can imagine what state of anarchy we will find ourselves in. And this is what President Akufo-Addo and his people have plunged this country into. We have no option than to rally around the umbrella and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, give him our maximum support, and ensure that we take it upon ourselves to move to the nooks and crannies of every home every settlement and speak the good news of the rescue mission to them. And please, let's come together. Just like our sister Margot ended with, we are going into an election, internal elections. People have their preferences and people have their interests. At the end of the day, when somebody wins and NDC doesn't win, what benefit is it to all of us? So NDC first. If we all understand that we can put NDC first, trust me, we will go places, we will win the 2024 elections, and we will take over the reins of this country and put Ghana back on track. And I believe in the competence of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that he never fails and never will he fail us. Our brother Mansa Musa was up with something before our sister came in. So I'll play that. If he's here, let's give him our listening ear. It should be as short as and concise as possible, so that we can all, have some good rest. So after him, I would give opportunities to two more people. If two other people would have something to say or have something to say, they should come in. Our mother, Honorable Agnes Namomo, is also still around, so she can also just give us a wrap-up message. And then our sister, our fine sister, who is the National Deputy Coordinator for TAME, Madam Abena Kunedu Asante Henrietta, would give us the vote of thanks. Then we can all go and have our sound sleep. But please, I don't have to forget to put my contact out before we go. I will try and remember before we end this. So Mansa Musa, if you're around,
yes,
please
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I am here. You said I should be short and concise. Sure. So if you remember Shaggy's music, he said it wasn't me. And I can run away and go away. Anyway, but with all seriousness, I'm very happy you organized this, and the theme is the word loyalty. I personally learned about or got to know about those words very early days in elementary school. And it rather came from an auntie, the Cape Coast side of the family, where everything is brofu, English all the time. One of my cousins, they were, young adults. A woman now, she's a very old woman herself. I think she had a problem with a boyfriend those days. And I was just eavesdropping, listening into the conversation. And my auntie, that my cousin said, well, I thought he loved me. And my auntie said, no, my pretty girl. Never, don't ask in a relationship, don't ask for love or trust or money or anything. It said ask for loyalty. Because when somebody is loyal to you, goodness me, he's not going to lie, he's not going to cheat. When somebody is loyal, we can all say, I love you and those things, but to be loyal to somebody, that's why even in the military, it said loyal soldiers, loyal troops, loyal bodyguard. Obviously, my days as a bodyguard to Rawlings, we were very loyal to the cause, loyalty. So I'm happy you are discussing this theme, and shall it be going forward. But the reason I came in today, being International Women's Day, is to try to highlight something that, anytime I hear women gather to talk about women empowerment, it's all about education, it's all about, gaining the respect from the men folk, which is not a bad thing. But when we think of Africa, Ghana especially, the strength of women, I don't think it's being utilized very well. For my sins, I have 3 beautiful girls. I say for my sins in a very polite way. So I have experience. One of my daughters, some time ago, she's qualified, finished uni, everything. And she said something, being a man, I felt very sorry for myself, very ashamed and very sorry for her. She called me from Ghana and said, look, I've got a job, interview, everything, but from the way I see it, the director wants to, sleep with me before he offers me the job. And for that reason, she couldn't get the job. My question to you all, August women, very intelligent, clever women, is that in your quest, that strength of attitude that we see in Europe and in America, where women are not seen as objects and not treated as such and treated with respect, so that, look, me as a manager where I work, I dare not create any impression to any of the women that I'm using my position to coerce her or get her into bed or anything. You can't do it, because the attitude, the sentiment, the mentality here is that the women are powerful. They have made it like that. So please, on today, International Women, I will urge you women, not only in the NDC but everywhere, to fight for that recognition, that respect. It should be properly be acknowledged, not just in words. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
We are so grateful. Yeah, Margot, you want to respond? You want to say something?
Oh, thank you, Mansa Musa, for the moral support. I mean, it's good when we have the men, supporting us in times like this. And as you said, I mean, with the example that you use, loyalty it's very, very important. The person will stick with you and won't move anywhere. And I know we've learned also from the example that you gave us. Thank you.
We are grateful, Mansa Musa. We are so, so grateful.
And I have to say, it has been broadcast, live on my show. So,
wow.
Wow. Thank you.
If I say goodbye to you, that means, yes, I will finish up with you. But ever since I joined, everybody, well, I should have asked permission to put it down.
Oh, that's fine.
But nobody said anything
untoward.
Cool. So we can say it's all well and good, really.
Sure.
Mansa Musa,
yes,
you
sir.
have to pay me for linking you up to this program.
And for people listening all over the world, look, the presumptive chairman of UK Ireland, the presumptive chairman, leave me alone.
Well, thank you for the broadcast. We owe you.
All right. Thank you, and have a good evening, all of you.
We are so grateful, Mansa Musa. We are so grateful.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, so please, we have two more. We have two more opportunity for two people to speak, express themselves, share their ideas with us, ask questions, but it should be concise and precise, please. And if you want to, please unmute yourself and come in.
Right. So that was it. International Women's Day, group of women from an NDC side have organized a Zoom meeting. So I joined them, and that was a part of the conversation we have just had. Mansa Musa is still here. I think one or two people wanted to speak or call in, but because of the program, because of the program, okay. Because of the program, I seriously want to. Okay, thank you. I had to, broadcast it live. Obviously, it is not something that we do always, but tonight we had to do that. About 10 minutes to 10, and I'll bring the show to an end, and tomorrow we'll come and continue all over again. The issue, what we've been talking about is that sad situation of a soldier being killed at Shaman, and soldiers going to organize to beat up people is wrong, but it's wrong. If a soldier man has been killed, it doesn't give the military or the soldiers in town any right to just go and organize beatings, because some of those, it is very unlikely that the person who actually did this criminal thing, maybe he's not even among the people who were being brutalized by the soldiers. All those people will be among maybe just about 2 or 3% of them. So all those people that you gather and beat, obviously in our laws, I don't know, in Ghana Constitution, I think these people can take the army to court or the hierarchy to court. If you are going to queue for a trotro, a bus, or for transport to work, and you are being rounded up by the military, not to ask any questions, but to be, remove your uniforms and get beaten like this, I think some court cases will emerge. And so be it. I mean, we have to, like I said previously, earlier on in the show, I said democracy isn't easy. We know democracy isn't cheap. That's why people spend loads of money for sometimes very mediocre outcomes. But it isn't easy as well, because things that can be done in an autocratic or in a dictatorship, you can't do the same in a democracy. And one of the things you cannot do is for some organs of society, of government, taking the law into their own hands and, for instance, soldiers going to round up people. Rounding up people is in itself isn't the problem, but actually beating them when they are not resisting arrest. That is my problem. Actually arresting people and beating them in public when they have not, or even if you have arrested them and some of them carried or had what do we call it, hashish or whatever with them. If some of them had banned or prohibited drugs on their persons, since you've arrested them, surely they are still, they have just, considered their freedom. No, none of them were resisting arrest. So why beat and molest them? Why torture them? I don't get it. You see, it only goes to show, or it's just a matter of punishing somebody. That's it. Kwesi?
Mansa.
Yes, you are right, call. All right, you are on air. In fact, I had to go and listen into the Zoom conference, International Women's Day, organized by some very top women in NDC, speaking from Accra and everything. So, I was
Okay. I was there. If I listened to Prof. Nana Jane Opokwajima when she was speaking and all that, and I listened to you, but I have to leave because I had an emergency call. I actually was at the program anyway. Musa, honestly, like you said, you need to do a full program on this Ashama issue. This matter is a constitutional matter which we need to discuss it. Now, Musa, you know very well that the type of military people who went to Ashama can never go there without the sanction from the military high command.
Of course not.
So, yes. So we beg you, you need to do a full program so that we can have a look at the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, what it talks about people's liberty and freedom within the country. You see, Mr. Let me say this. It is appalling, it is a shame that that military man was killed. It's most unfortunate. It must be investigated. But however, Musa, in a constitutional rule, when we have a lawyer as a president, we don't have to sit down and allow this to happen to us. It is shameful, Musa. It is not good. So please do a full program on this issue. Some of us want to make sure that at least get somebody, if you want to get something like resource person to come and speak on this matter, we will appreciate it. Please.
Today, incidentally, the person who signed the military or the soldiers' response, Brigadier General E. Agrikwashi, I have his number here. I didn't call, but I chatted with him WhatsApp, and he said, unfortunately, I'm not giving interviews, which I understood because It's a tricky one. If he otherwise, I wanted to interview. He sent me a copy of that release issued by the Department of Public Relations, General Headquarters, Bema Camp. Telephone number is there. Everything. Date is 7th of March. Military conduct swoop at Ashaman, targeted at killers of young soldier. I don't know if you have already listened to that what we call it, the release, but it's in front of me now. It says personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces, GFA, on Tuesday, 7th March 2023, conducted a swoop in Ashaman and its environs in a manhunt for some criminals who are suspected to have stabbed and killed a soldier in bracket trooper Imoro Sharif. In the early hours of Saturday, 4th, 2023, at Ashama Taifa, trooper Sharif, who was stationed in Sunyani, was in Accra on a course and had sought permission to visit his parents at Ashaman, where he grew up, but was found in a pool of blood in the early hours of Saturday near the Amania Hotel in Ashama. GAF, that's GAF, the Ghana Armed Forces wishes to state categorically that the military operation, which was sanctioned by the Military High Command, was not to avenge the killing of the soldier, but rather to fish out the perpetrators of the heinous crime. Following the operations at Afseman, Taifa, and Taluku, the military personnel picked up about 184 suspects aged between 21 and 47 years old, and have since handed them over to the military police, who will subsequently hand them over to the Ghana Police Service for screening and further action. During the course of the swoop, the personnel seized 29 slabs and 57 mini slabs of suspected Indian hemp and amnesia, respectively, among other forms of narcotics. The Ghana Armed Forces also wishes to place on record that the swoop was not targeted at innocent civilians, but was an intelligent-led operation conducted at suspected hideouts of criminals in crime-prone areas in the area. Ghana Armed Forces, however, acknowledges that, regrettably, some innocent persons might have been caught up in the operation and consequently suffered some distress due to the location they found themselves at the time. Ghana Armed Forces accordingly wishes to urge the general public to provide useful information, support the security agencies in weeding out criminals and miscreants from our communities, and to desist from shielding and conniving with such suspects in order to curb criminal activities in the country. Signed by E. Agrikwashi, that's Brigadier General, who is a personal friend. I have his personal number, and who sent me this copy of the release. Kwesi, what do you make of this?
No, you see, the statement they've issued is okay. Any criminal within a society must be fished out and be punished, because the heinous crime they've done to that innocent soldier is very bad. May he so rest in peace. But Musa, however, the style that they went and picked up the civilians, even if you pick the civilians, should they punish them? Should they drill them? So you are drilling people if they are innocent people without a proper investigation. How do you put them into such condition, Mansa Musa? You don't put innocent civilians into such condition. Make sure, even if you pick them up, make sure you screen them properly. Use the system, the civilian system. What is the use of the police, Mansa Musa?
You see, because no matter how they split this, you see, it's good job that my friend Agri Kwashi doesn't want to give interviews. It's good because he can't defend even what he himself have have written and have signed it. You know, you can't defend it. If you say you are not to, it wasn't meant to what we call as a revenge, and it wasn't something to target everybody. I mean, anyone who is in the vicinity. Today, I listened to your friend in Good Morning Ghana, a colleague of Randy Abe, young man. He said he lives in Ashaman. And that day, he said he left the area very early to catch a bus to Accra. Otherwise, he would have been caught and beaten, and before they realize it's too late. I mean,
that's right.
It doesn't make sense.
You see, innocent. Meanwhile, Musa, if you look at the Constitution, some part of article of the Constitution talks about respect for human dignity. These are civilians, for God's sake. That is why, Mansa, Musa, you see, yes, military, they are there to defend the state in terms of, issues, but not to go after the community like the people and go in the soup and just drill them and said, you are now going to now hand over to police to do what? What is the use of the police, Mansa Musa?
Well, now they are saying some of them who were arrested had Indian hemp and some other narcotics.
Oh, Mansa
it's
Musa,
neither here or there. It's neither here or there.
No, they should give us a break from there. They should. You see, the point, even if you pick the people, Mansa Musa, handle them, use the dignity that the civilians deserve.
Yes.
Because, yes, they are criminals within the community. Why do you have intelligent community to go into the community to do the groundwork first?
Even let's say that they've gone to do that soup and they've got plenty people. From the video we watch, how many of them were resisting arrest that justified such beatings? You understand? The people are defenseless. They are not resisting arrest. You have arrested them already. So just beating them is rather criminal. Just beating them. Oh.
No, you see, this NPP government, honestly speaking, they've hardly...
No, Kufuor's government is a thuggish government. It's thuggish.
No, you see, I wonder why the people in NPP are not talking to their government. They look, they are going too far. They should slow down, Musa.
But it's too late. The very beginning, when that police officer, Nanka Bruce or whatever his name, was beaten and it was caught on camera, video, beaten at the seat of the president. Even that one when people nobody was punished. Then we had the Kumasi incident. They went to the court. They released their people. Nobody was punished. Then we had another Kumasi incident again. Another DCE. He was taken out of the office and beaten. Nobody was punished. Then we had Ayawaso. Nobody was punished. So it's a thuggish government.
Listen carefully. Let me read the 1992 Constitution. Some aspect of it. That is Article 15, Clause 2. No person shall, whether or not he is arrested, restricted, or detained, be subjected to A, torture, or other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment.
Kwesi, thank you very much. Which article are you reading? I have the book here.
Go to Article 15, Clause 2A.
15?
You read
Article 15?
Yes, read Article 15, where it talks about respect of human dignity. Read Article 15, Clause 2. Read all the Clause 2 all the way down.
Okay, so Article 15, Clause 2. Here we go. Article 14. Where is the 14? Where is the 15?
Where it says respect for human dignity.
It said the dignity of all persons shall be inviolable.
Yeah. Go to the 2.
No person shall, whether or not he is arrested, restricted, or detained, be subjected to torture, other cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment. I mean, this one alone, people have to go to court. First one alone. And video evidence shows that the people were not even resisting arrest. You see? I mean, even if those people who carried out the heinous crime of killing the soldier, even if they were among the people, still, the Constitution, the law of the land states that since he has been arrested, all this humiliation, beating, torture should cease. Musa, let me say something.
Musa, there was a guy policeman who was killed and buried on the concrete. You remember? It's called Kwame Ninja or something. Some small policeman who was killed and buried on the concrete. However, Ghana police managed to investigate and solve where the guy was buried. He was buried and poured concrete on. I've forgotten his name. He was in Ghana, one of the police service. They did a thorough investigation and they managed to find the perpetrators. Why can't we do the same to this incident? But you go and rally up a community.
You're correct. And it's all about the governance.
Musa, let me bid you and good night. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
So we will continue tomorrow. Kwesi, thank you very much for your call.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. So this is where I bring the curtains down. Thank you, all of you. Have a good night. Cheers. So bye bye.
And now that's mine.